the show. I am MikeRuggirello, and that is...
I'm Jason Thomas.
Welcome to Theory Thursday, and we are in collaboration with Singular Sound Beat Buddy. Today we bring you the magnificent Israel Maldonado, and he is a local musician. He is a full-time musician, and he's here today to jam with us and talk to us, and we're going to learn about how he runs some of his system, because he has a pretty elaborate, awesome system when he plays live. We're going to talk to him about songwriting and chops and guitars. So Israel, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. Nice to be here.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful studio.
Thank you.
Humongous. It goes way back there. You just can't see it. It's just, woo.
Right on.
It's beautiful.
Sounded good on that jam.
Thank you, thank you.
We were using Jeff, and welcome Jeff to the show. Jeff, say hi. All right. So that last jam, we were using Funk 1, and we were at 108 BPM. Very cool. And that was allowing us to stretch out a little.
Yeah, it's cool that you can actually do like fills and everything like that, like on the fly.
You like that?
Yeah, it's really...
So, right there, you stop.
Yeah.
When you start it, it'll start with a 4-measure beat.
Okay.
So it cues you.
Man, it's
and then,
cool.
depending on where the bar's at, you know, there's that length.
Right.
That length.
Man,
and it's cool.
Awesome.
Each one has a contingent of 3 fills. Mm-hmm. So, like, the second time you hit bar 3...
It's different fills.
Yeah.
With the same fill over and over.
Correct.
That's key, man. That's cool.
And then, of course, our auxiliary cymbal. There was a brand new update yesterday on this thing.
Oh, yeah?
And, it was very extensive. You can actually put the Beat Buddy up here now, because just like how you were using some of your rig, you like to have access to your drum sequencer.
Yeah.
So that was part of yesterday's update. You can keep Jeff or the Beat Buddy right here, and you can use these to trigger these functions.
Okay. Because it's a mini pedal, so I mean you can actually assign different things to via MIDI too, right?
Yes, I believe so. I'm still studying the MIDI chapter, and this system that we use, I've mentioned it before. Israel is in stereo with our little Champion 6 and our Bad Cat, and the Beat Buddy is MIDI synced to my looper, and that enables the looper to just stay in tempo. So anyhow, enough of the gear. We'll talk about your gear,
bro. It's like, I can go crazy.
Yes,
with gear, yeah.
Another gearhead.
No, big time.
So I noticed you're using the Blue Jackson today.
Yes, I am. But you know what? I always wanted to be it's kind of like a comedian wants to be a musician and an actor wants to be a musician or whatever. It's kind of like I would like to be an electric guitar player. You know what I mean? But for me, it's like what I'm most comfortable with is like a nylon string instrument. So is it okay if I can switch back?
Absolutely.
So this guy.
In fact, why don't you show the crowd how easy it is for the guests to switch guitars here in this studio?
So today I was like, hey, so can you mute me or something like that? And you're like, no, man. So I should just pull it off, and I guess it's got one of these mute things or whatever.
This is a Mad Hatter guitar cable. We got the silent switch. For those of you out there, there's an expensive company that made this possible, brought it to us first, but good old people from Mad Hatter, hey Ed, they make these. Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to shut, no standbys, you don't need to mute nothing, you don't need to roll the volume pedal back, you just pull the cable. So, this is what I want to get to. Look at this guitar.
This is more home for me. You know what I mean? Nylon. I started with nylon string guitar.
Man, look at the knobs, the tuning knobs.
Yeah, it's a Cremona guitar. It's from Bulgaria. You know, it's not super expensive. It's like $500. You know?
Is that right?
So, yeah, it wasn't. I actually got it on eBay because I used to have the same guitar and it fell out of my car and I lost it. So this is the second one that I got.
Whoa.
So yeah, I have some stories with my guitars. I mean, I've lost a lot of gear throughout the years, but I'm better with that now. I'm not losing anything anymore.
Yeah, I share your pain. I share your pain there. So, how long have you been playing guitar?
Well, I've been playing since I was 10 years old, and I started in Tijuana. And when we moved from Infonavit to like right next to the bullfighting ring in Tijuana, there was a guitar instructor just moved in right there. His name is Roberto Torres. And
hi, Roberto.
Yeah, and basically, I don't even know, man. 32 years ago, that was a while back, and so he taught classical guitar. And I already knew how to read music because I was in a kids band when I was 7, like a concert kids band. And we used to play in like orphanages, and we used to play at Hotel Presidente, and like different, like we even played at the jail one time. We're like a bunch of little kids. They brought us to the jail. We played for all the people and stuff. So
fascinating.
But they taught us how to read music. So that was the whole thing. So I already knew how to read music with so classical guitar just kind of came natural for me. But I wanted to be a drummer, but my mom she couldn't afford drummers, and she's like, you're gonna play guitar, and I didn't want to be a mariachi, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So
mariachi,
but,
it's pretty awesome, though.
She was like, yeah, now I appreciate it, but when you're a little kid, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you just want to be cool, you know. But yeah, I got into classical guitar, and I saw my guitar teacher play a song, and that kind of changed everything for me.
Which piece was that?
It was called Recuerdos de la Alhambra. So it actually added tremolo.
Tremolo picking?
Yeah, tremolo picking.
Would you mind showing our audience?
Yeah.
What tremolo picking, or an example?
I'll show you like just the intro of the song, so you can kind of see what the intro, and then I'll explain how it's done. So tremolo. So it's basically.
That sounds beautiful.
Here it goes. So the tremolo basically is you can actually play with any chord. You play the bass. So for every bass, you get.
And look at these nails. May I see your nails? Wow, you are very well manicured.
Well, I gotta go get them fixed.
So, you mind if we talk about this a little bit?
Yeah,
Let's talk
for
a little
sure.
bit of upkeep, because this wonderful technique that he just displayed, you do have to
Yeah.
upkeep your fingers.
Yeah, well, my left hand I have no nails, but this one right here, I've had nails since I was 10 years old, so people always kind of like, whoa, why you have nails and stuff.
And I noticed a nail file over there.
Yeah, well, I was like just trying to like make sure that, because sometimes they get caught, you know, so you always have to have a file with you all the time. But
See?
they're acrylic nails, so I go to a lady and she knows how I like them, and she puts them on me.
And I thought I was Metro for having my own hairstylist.
Right. So yeah, it's the thing about it. It's like it was huge. So, you know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. It's acrylic, so that way you can beat the crap out of the guitar, and you're not gonna break a nail.
Okay.
Because if you have like natural nails, you run the risk of like if you break it, you can break your nail, and then you're done for the performance. I mean, if it's your style that you place a lot of finger picking, that's kind of my style. It's a finger picking, you know. So pretty much I just grew up playing classical guitar until I was 21. So just played classical guitar. I wasn't going to be a musician at all. I just went to school to be a translator. But I got into Brazilian music, and Brazilian music changed my life. So that was the whole thing, you know what I mean? It's like for me, I was going to be a translator. That's what my mom wanted me to do. That's what I kind of wanted to do. And so I was like, you know, I speak 2 languages. So, but I got into Brazilian music, and my teacher saw that I played classical, so he taught me bossa nova music.
Okay,
and,
let's put on some boss.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm going through Jeff. Well, actually, you can. Let's see, Brazilian. You want the bossa nova, the bossa samba, the bossa nova 2.
We could do like the basic one, I guess.
Okay. So right now we're at bossa nova at 120 BPM.
About bossa nova, it's that right hand rhythm, you know. Basically, the right hand just does that with the little drum. Yeah, it's basically this little drum. It's called a tamborim, and it goes tuck, 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 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So when you go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. To add variations. So I I do finger picking, so I add a little bit of that classical element to it. So I add my own style to
that's
it.
That's an improvised thing that you do.
Yeah,
I love that.
And it's not obviously. I try not to do things like, I like to do things like my way in a way. You know what I mean? But definitely have the foundation. You know what I mean for every style. And so for me, the bossa nova was cool because it's a lot of the technique for me is super important. Like that's what I teach my students is technique. Because if you're gonna play a 3-hour gig, 4-hour gig or whatever, you gotta make sure you have a nice technique and you don't get tired. And like
you hear that, people?
Yeah, don't over like a lot of people just do that. Like especially beginners. You know what I mean? Just
they push very hard.
It's like you don't have to. You get a better tone if you just kind of like nice and light.
I have a slight. Not philosophy, but explanation for that. I've noticed that with the students and just teaching in general, the guitar player probably won't understand the subtleties until they practice their scales and get the dexterity. So once a beginner, after a couple weeks or a month, and you could actually maybe, this is proficient, that's when I think they'll understand when to not push as hard.
Right. When they get the hang of that, huh? Because they don't have to think about that scale anymore. They can just kind of just work on the technique after
Precisely.
that. So for us, like after playing for so many years, and we're conscious of that. I
I didn't say that in the intro. Israel Maldonado is a guitar instructor. And how long have you been teaching?
When I was 19, I had my first student. It's because I already knew how to play classical guitar. So I had somebody that wanted to learn how to play classical guitar. So I was 19 when I had my first student, and then after that, when I went to state and everything like that, then I got a job at Oak Park Elementary, which is on 54th and here in San Diego, and I was a music magnet, and that's when I first taught like in an elementary school with like a full class, So for many years I taught elementary schools until a couple years ago I started teaching in high school, which is a totally different, ball game.
That
because
is,
these guys,
I've done that before. It is different.
Yeah, you can't approach them like elementary school kids, you know what I mean? So it's a whole different dynamic. It took me about a year and a half or two, I'm still trying to get better at it, you know what I mean? So
what's the challenging part? Like trying to get the kids to stop talking?
Yeah, because they just want to hang out and everything like that. I think the way that you make them to stop talking is just by making them play, you know what I mean? And there's some students that can sit in the back and just, doing other stuff that, they tried it, and then they're like, oh, I can't, they lost interest.
Okay.
But I don't force it on them, you know what I mean? So I just, hey, you guys got to work on some art, you guys got to work on something, homework or whatever, but everybody else that you can tell wants to do it is the ones that are like paying attention and right there. Those are the ones that I really focus on, you know what I mean? Obviously, I do focus on the other ones that are not interested either. I want to make sure, hey, what are you into? So then this hour, work on what you're into, you know what I mean?
It's a lot of plate spinning, emotionally, cognitively, when you're in a room. How many students? 8, 10, 20 kids?
Right. And at the high school, I have about 20 students.
So walking around and taking inventory, like let's say a group of 5 or 8 are good, and then now you're checking on Johnny and Sarah.
Exactly.
And you have to be a certain way to create inclusion.
Right.
It's very tough.
And like for instance, today at the school that I taught at, there's this one kid that's always been like just talking the whole time. But today he came over and he was like, hey man, can you show me how to play the bass? And I was like, okay. I stopped everything that I was doing and then I just sat down with him and was like, all right, cool. This is how it goes. You know what I mean? And he was so into it. And so hopefully, because he just saw the power of the bass. When you boom, like whoa,
Can you show us what you taught him?
Well, basically what I taught him is just basically how do you, because I showed him the chords that were on the board, and I was like, do you see that B flat right there? So you got to find your B flat on the bass. So you have to find your notes, your main notes on the sixth, on the bigger string and on the next string down. You know what I mean? On the E string and on the A string. So I just went F, G, A, B, and C, your half steps, C and D, and then I just told him to focus on this part right here. Don't even worry about this part because this just gets repeated. So I just kind of just tell him, hey, this is it. This is it right here. If you get pretty good at this part, then when you get up here, you're gonna be, oh, it's the same thing that I just did up here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like repeated itself. So I was good. Okay.
What is his name?
His name is Jimmy.
Jimmy, how are you, buddy?
He's a great kid. And I was like, okay, B flat. And I was like, and then F. A flat. So you have to find the notes quickly. So that way when you're reading, you go, okay, there's the note right there. At least he's finding the notes.
So you're showing him how to. That's actually how Fred Benedetti taught me. That when you're learning the neck, you're learning how to read simultaneously.
Yeah.
Remember that, Jason? We were in that class together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
How you doing over there?
It's
Good?
basically like sight reading in a way. Like, let's say they call you for a gig and you're like, oh, I don't know the songs, but you have the charts. So then you can just have the charts and you just
Like I know what he's talking. Yeah.
So it's basically like, I just tell the students, like, you know, if you can read the chords and where the chords are at, then you can actually sit in with anybody and play with anybody. You know what I mean? So
Fantastic.
you know,
I'm gonna show another version. There's Bossa Samba.
Mhm.
We also have that Bossa Nova 2, the Samba alt kick, and then the Partido Alto.
Partido Alto. Okay, let's try the Partido Alto and see how that one works.
So we, you know, it's really neat too, and I can put on the percussion kit. You want to try percussion?
Hey.
Doesn't matter, whatever, right?
I like it. I like it all.
We're at 140.
Oh,
So there's our drum beat. It's a standard drum beat. I can go into the drum set. We got Jeff Cam on.
You speed it up a little, maybe?
Oh yeah, you bet. I'm gonna go ahead and just choose percussion real quick, and then those tones remind me of Breaking Bad. So
Oh, right, huh?
let me actually show you
The
something
intro
real
of it?
quick. When I shut Jeff off, that's in the stopped mode. When we hold the Beat Buddy down, it goes into tap tempo. So give me a. Oh wait. So that was 111. You said faster, huh?
Yeah, it was that. Oh, was that went lower a little bit?
I might have to go. Give me that again. So like, whoa.
It'd be like,
Okay. 225.
Let's see what happens. Perfect. So
So beautiful. So we got a nice. Is that a descending bass line?
is that one note samba?
Okay.
So we can just go like G, D, Yeah.
Okay, so one more time, watch this. Is this the skill you play?
Kinda, I think so. I want to show you this instrument, man. Okay, that goes with Partido Alto.
Oh wow, look at that!
This guy right here. Surprise!
Surprise! Let's see what you got there.
Let me just show it to you with that beat.
You said B minor to D?
B minor to D9.
Okay.
And then G flat. Do the same thing. Yeah, B, D, G flat.
Did you like the percussion? Or you want to go back to the beat?
No, that was perfect. Yeah.
Cool.
from Brazil. It's a Brazilian banjo. And yeah, it's basically...
Got the snare?
It's got the snare and it's super loud, like... So it's like...
Love that chord.
This whole thing just projects. So I wanted to kind of show you guys this really cool instrument from Brazil.
Cool.
So it applies for like partido alto and things like that. You can actually use a banjo, and it's kind of the same family as the cavaquinho, which is the same family as the ukulele.
Okay.
So in Brazil, it became, you know, if you, it's kind of like the accordion. The accordion is like worldwide. If you Mexico and New Orleans, you know what I mean, Italy and Argentina, like the accordion became something different in different parts of the world. The same thing with the ukulele, you know what I mean? So in Brazil, it became the cavaquinho and the banjo.
This is the cavaquinho?
This is the banjo. In Portuguese, is banjo. Banjo. Same thing.
What a trip.
But anyways, I wanted to show you guys this thing. I was like, I gotta just bring it over.
I'm happy you did.
Yeah.
Great sounds on that. Hey, if you don't...
I don't play it all the time, so I'm a little out of shape. So with that guy. But this is my main axe right here. Oh, were you going?
I was gonna say let's loop that chord progression again.
Okay.
I'll because let's both blow over it a bit.
Okay.
I'll find there was another scale I wanted to show you. Then on top of that one, the first one I was doing was Phrygian with a raised third and a fancy title. But there's this other one called altered dominant.
Okay.
And it's more of a happier version, but they're the same notes.
Okay.
But so instead of this, right, it ended up being. They actually sound really beautiful together.
Cool. That's really cool.
It's called an altered dominant scale.
Okay.
It's basically Mixolydian. You ever heard of that scale?
Yes, I think so.
That's okay. It's okay. It's just.
I just know the C scale.
What's funny about some of these? Yeah, you're funny, right? How's it go? Do. What's the second one? Fa.
Latido.
But anyhow, just an idea, and I wanted you to let's loop it.
Okay.
You tell me when to come in, and then So what would be a second loop? Do you have an alternate chord progression? Okay, that's like the bass line.
Oh, you mean a second? Oh, okay.
Second. No, let's loop the bass line. Ready?
Here you go.
So tell me when you're ready. Okay. Yeah. So what we can do now? Watch. We're synced, right? So I can cue loop 1 and loop 2.
That was the first one. Oh, right.
Now watch. I'll cue this one. Oh. See how it's cued?
Yeah. Okay.
So pretty soon, when I send the out back into the in, I'll be able to trigger with both feet. But cool. After you.
Oh. cool.
Yeah, I really like those progressions a lot. I like that style. We're gonna schedule a guitar lesson when we're done with our interview today.
All that altered stuff, man. I want to know that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I just don't even know what I'm doing. To tell you the truth, like a lot of times the song's kind of nice. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
But see, that's what's so interesting about all of us guitar players. You know, it turns into an innate ability. You trust your instincts and your ears and your fingers. And
this is the first time we play together. I mean, we never played together, so it's like,
right.
It's kind of like, hey, how are you? You know what I mean, kind of a thing. So it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I'm just, oh, all right, that's how he does it, and getting a feel for each other. You know?
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I mean, good. I'm glad. That's certainly cool. You know, when I'm in the middle of trying to do something, you know, as much as an exotic scale that was, I'm more comfortable playing that in E or A. So, you know, whether, you know, F sharp or B, you do the same things, you just go to a different pattern. But in the heat of the moment, you know, it's geometry. You know, the differences of seeing the different dots. You know, we all have our system.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if I'm playing a little slow and reserved, I'm just trying to sound good.
Yeah, no, I'm the same too, man. I'm the same way. So I mean, it's crazy because that's what's cool about every guitar player, huh? Like everybody just has their own way of doing it, and you know what I mean. And there's not one right or wrong in a way.
And it's funny because even like you, me, and Jason, or David or Jimmy, you know, maybe if we hear someone really good, you know, I tend to think, or it seems like some people think, oh, he must know his theory just because you did a good lick.
Yeah, right, exactly. You know,
it's like that's never the case.
I know, exactly.
It's like we know good licks because after school we sit there and practice or whatever.
Yeah. How about that Jimmy Lewis, huh?
How about Jimmy
How about
Lewis?
that Jimmy Lewis? Jeez Louise.
I know. When he was in here, I mentioned that to you this morning. Like it was running the major scale.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how about when Jimmy does it?
Yeah. It's like sweet. And like, whoa.
What's up, Jimmy?
You know what I just saw? John 5.
He's rad.
Man, I just saw that show at the Brick by Brick, man. He
plays in a telly.
Oh my god.
He like country licks.
Awesome.
Kind of
so good, man.
You had fun with that?
I was just blown away. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen a guitar player like that. It was
good
really
showman.
Cool. Great showman, exactly. And his technique is flawless. I mean,
cool
he does
tone
crazy
too.
stuff. And he's just the coolest dude too, man. You know what I mean? So
have you met him?
You know, I met the drummer, Logan Niles. I think it's.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he's a producer up in L.A. Man, he's his drummer, man. He's really good, and so I know him, but he's a super cool guy too, man. Just nice people, you know what I mean? But their show is just awesome, man. It's just like theatrics and stuff, and it's just great.
Next time, call me. I'll go with you.
That'd be way cool, man.
Yngwie Malmsteen's coming pretty soon.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna go check that out.
Another dimension.
So, songwriting or no equipment. Let's talk to let's let our audience know about the way you do a gig.
Okay, sounds good. Basically, it depends. Right now, for instance, yesterday I played with a trio, and I have my pedal board. I just have a Boss ME50 and my looper, which is the loop station, the RC30. So RC30 Boss loop station, that's what I have, and that's basically the one that I've been using forever. I used different ones before, but this is the only one that I can afford. You know, there's other ones that are really awesome.
That's a great one. We used that before. You can save loops with this one, correct?
You can save loops and up to 99 loops, and it's got like 3 hours worth of saving time.
Why don't show us real quick one of your save loops?
Sure. So what I'll do is I'll do something super simple. You know what I mean? Where I'm gonna just do the looping of the guitar, and then I'll add like a little beat to it. 1, 2, 3. Se está quejando que no puede vacilar. donde quiera que se mete. Su gata lo va a buscar. De noche brinca la cerca, que está behind de mi house. A ver si puede fugarse sin que ella lo pueda ver. No tan pronto está de fiesta silvestre felino. Tiene que echar a correr. Esto sí es serio, mi amigo. Oye, qué lío se va a formar cuando mi gatito sepa. Y es tan simple la razón. Su gata le cuenta, que a su gata le cuenta. No nada más que un ratón, échale. Simple little 4-chord thing, you know, and
that was rad, man.
You know,
the way you loop, use the guitar, very organic, very entertaining.
Thank you. You know, and I'm actually playing at a festival this at the end of the month. It's called Lightning in a Bottle, and that's like my plan B. But I'm using an Ableton Live rig. That's kind of what I'm using for this thing. So
yeah, please continue.
Yeah.
So you got the looper, you have your Ableton,
right?
And what does the hardware consist of?
So basically, it's just my laptop, and I have some Novation controllers, and I have 3 Novation controllers so that I can control my looper. But let's say something happens with a computer, you can never trust the computer, right? So my plan B is my looper. So just in case anything happens, I'm like
smart.
You know what I mean? So it's because I've seen some of those fail videos. You know, they go, oh, the guys just like it fails, and then they're like, hi.
Yeah, you've seen me do it.
You know what I mean? So I don't. So there's got to be a plan B. It's like, how do you not have a plan B? Like, because anything can happen. You know what I mean? With electronics. You know what I mean?
That's
so,
right.
But if you have your guitar's always going to bail you out, no matter what, as long as it works and the cable works, right?
Yeah,
right. Good cables.
Yeah.
And also at the belly up, man, I'm doing a singer-songwriter revival. You know, it's kind of a what do you call it?
Yeah, start plugging your gigs because he plays all the time here in town.
Yeah, I play every Sunday at Estancia La Jolla. I'm there every Sunday 6 to 9, and then do a lot of weddings. So I do tons of weddings. I'm like wedding specialist because I DJ too. So when the bride walks down the aisle, I play some classical guitar, and then cocktail hour, I just do a little bit more contemporary stuff, and then DJ the reception. So I've been doing DJs for weddings for many years. And so that's like my bread and butter.
Got your game down with that.
Yeah, and it's just
those are the hardest gigs in my opinion.
Yeah, because there's a lot of preparation. You know what I mean? Basically, they go, well, you're only playing for half an hour, but the preparation to get to that half an hour so it's flawless, because you can't mess up somebody's wedding, man. You can't. You know. I mean, that's.
I know the feeling.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a science in a way. You know what I mean? You just like I figured it out how to do it and how to talk. How to make the couple like feel at ease, and hey, you guys, I got you. Don't worry about the music's gonna be handled. So that's kind of my bread and butter. That's kind of how I make most of my living. But at La Estancia, that's my steady. But exciting shows coming up is the Lightning in a Bottle, which is a festival I'm gonna be doing my Ableton Live rig with that.
All right.
And then the Belly Up next month for the revival of the singer-songwriter with Kenneth Rexroad production.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add for our viewers, if you want to search on Facebook Israel Maldonado, you'll see a post yesterday where he shows his rig. He shows you the Ableton and his looping. What's that device where you have all the loops?
Yeah, that's the Launchpad. It's called the Launchpad.
Yeah, but it's so cool. I was really fascinated.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I mean, you can get lost.
Just at the touch.
Yeah.
You know, you just so on the fly.
Warm Squares is a it could be like synthesizer. One square can be a bass line. You know what I mean? It could just be anything you want it to be. Each square you just load up with stuff. So, but that's pretty exciting. But
I'm gonna choose one different Brazilian beat for our out.
Okay.
The batucada. Or samba funk.
Yeah, how about that one? Yeah.
So we're at 150 BPM. I'll click it in a sec.
Business.
Yes. So I want to conclude today's interview with Israel Maldonado. Thank you so much for coming.
Well, I mean, thank you for having me. I mean, I'm just honored that you have me here because I know you have some great musicians here. So
You're one of them, my friend.
Thank you.
So Singular Sound Beat Buddy and myself, MikeRuggirello. This is.
I'm Jason Thomas. Thanks for watching, and remind you guys that we have
Next week we have David Carano, local legend and other guitar extraordinaire. So tune in to see David and us next week. We are Theory Thursday, and see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Go on your lead.